Hi everyone, it's Pam. I wanted to pop on tonight and just give you a brief tutorial on how to add hinges into a journal that lay flat. So their pages lay flat when you open the book. I was watching one of my favorite ladies on YouTube, Wendy, over at Wendy's Journal Adventure, and she was showing how to use fabric to make hinges for your pages rather than just sewing the pages together. And then she said that she learned it from Susie over at Shabby Soul. So I would say, I invite you to go over and watch their videos on how they did theirs. And I wanted to just quickly show you how I did mine. So this is a journal that I showed yesterday. It was my ABC journal that I did. And I really love how it came out that I can open, no matter how I open the book, the pages are flat when I'm looking through it. And it doesn't have any kind of, like curling up or anything. It's nice and flat. So you can use this process on any size book. So there's that size, and then I started making one out of flashcards. And this one, the difference between this one is I had already decorated my pages when I had the dilemma of finding out it didn't fit inside the ring, which I'll show you in a second, the ring that was on the binder. So I had to take that off and figure out what in the world I was going to do. And along came Wendy and gave me this idea. So God bless you, girl. But anyways, this one I had finished on my pages, so I had to use a decorative ribbon in between the pages to cover up the seam. So each page has a strip of this fabric. Okay. Now, the flashcards, I put the fabric hinges in before I started decorating, and that's why you'll see the material there. But when you open up the pages, the fabric is actually underneath the cardstock decorations and stuff that I'm using. But again, it lays flat. And I am so thrilled with this. I just thought it's just so much easier than trying to sew your signatures in. And so anyways, I wanted to show you real quick. So I'm going to set these aside now that you know the concept. And bring this into focus here. Now, like I said, you can use this with any size. I have playing cards, which are little small ones, but they make cute little journals. So you could do it with playing cards. You can do it with flash cards. You could do it with greeting cards. If you have a bunch of greeting cards that you want to use, that maybe you just want to save the fronts. There's different, or the backs, or whatever. You can make your journals out of them too. So this is what I started out with for the big journal. And as you can see, I've already taken the covers off, but you can see how skinny that was. And by the time I was done putting all my stuff in, this little old ring right here was no way was it going to fit a 3-inch spine. So I had to take that off. So then the next thing I had to do on here was I had to cover up these perforations before I could put the fabric on, because otherwise you would have been able to see them. So I used a really heavy-duty cardstock, and I covered up all of these perforations on the covers and on each page. Okay, because I stopped my journaling right along that line there. So anyway, so now you got your cardstock on. So then that's when I took my ribbon and cut it and glued along the strips, and that's what I'm going to show you today. But I'm going to show you on the smaller one since this thing is kind of big. Same concept no matter the size you use. Okay, so we're going to do these flashcards here, I think. Okay, so the first one, this side of the card you're going to attach to your cover. This is your first card. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to glue along here. And this is your second page. We're going to glue along here. and put your fabric strip down, okay? And that'll be actually page 2 and 3, because your first one's going to be the same concept, but it's going to be attached to the inside of the cover. All right, let me get my glue. This is the only glue that I use, especially for fabric, is Fabri-Tac. It's excellent, excellent glue, which I have all over my fingers right now. But it dries real nice. It's smooth. It doesn't leave any bubbles or anything like that, and it sticks really good. So, anyways, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card and get my glue to come down. I went through quite a bit of this glue when I was doing that big journal. So I ordered 3 more bottles today. They had a sale at Joann Fabrics. And so I thought, hey, I might as well take advantage. Okay, then I just cut, for these small cards, you don't really need that wide of a piece because it's going to be underneath your decorated papers that you use on your pages. 1/2 inch. I cut mine about 1/2 inch. You can kind of justify how wide you want it to be. And then all I'm going to do is lay that just about halfway, just about half of the strip along there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this off, make it a little easier to work with. And now, okay, so that's this side. So now we're going to attach this side. So we're going to put some glue on here. Come on, Mr. Glue. It's getting down towards the bottom there. Okay. Now, when I add this one, I'm going to flip this upside down so you can actually see where the edge of this card lies, because you want to leave just a little tiny space in between. Okay? So, let's see if I can get around this camera here. So I'm going to leave just a little space in between. Press that down. And then fold this over. And that's all you're going to see on the outside, just like on the little journal that I showed you, this one here. And then that's going to be covered up with a cover. And what's really cool is this is all attached now, so you can do a loose spine. You don't want to glue your spine to this. I learned that the hard way. You can't open your book if you do that. So you want to just have the kind of spine you've seen on books where they're kind of curved a little bit, that you can put your finger down behind there. So this part's not really attached to your cover, just this and your back is. Okay? So there's our first 2 cards. Okay? Now, if you want to now add on the second page, then you're going to turn this over. So that's all on the inside. And you're going to do the same thing again. I'll do it one more time here. And add your little strip of fabric. And again, you want to turn it over because you want it just about halfway. There we go. Press that down. Go ahead and trim this off. Trim it off. Get those out of the way. And we'll take one more card. Oops, wrong way. This way. This gets a little tricky. You have to, especially if you're somewhat well, let's see, what word I want to use, geometrically challenged of which way to turn the card. But anyways, so one more we'll do here. this is a lot of fun. I was just so thrilled with this, because like I said, when you're sewing in signature, I don't know about you, but when I'm sewing in signatures, oh my gosh, to try to get all those holes lined up and get the pages all lined up and make everybody happy. Let's see if I got that on there good. Still over just a little bit too much on that other page. Okay, flip that one closed and squeeze it a little bit. Okay, so we're on our way, so you just continue to do that. Let me get this one open here. Come on, Pam, get your fingers going. Okay, so we got that one and that one, and that one and that one, and then you just keep going. Put it on this side, put your fabric strip on, take your next card, and like I said, just leave a little tiny, I don't know if you can see that. I did not leave very much space. It's just a little smidgen of space in between, but it's enough that it can close down, and that's what you want so that you're able to open up flat. So I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Oh, one last thing. I don't know if I mentioned it. When you're doing this, don't use anything real thick, because the more pages you have, the more bulk you're going to have. And that, especially on smaller ones, definitely just use a plain cotton is the best thing to do. Or a real thin, maybe satin ribbon would look pretty if you want ribbon on there. But you could cut your strips, you can tear your strips, but like I said, I would go with about a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch on the smaller cards. And then I think this that I used on my big journal is just about 1.25 inches is what I used on that one. And it depends on how wide the seam is, the strips that you want to cover on your pages. But anyways, so that's it. I hope I didn't confuse you too much, but I just thought it was an excellent idea. It was fast, it was fun, and now I can continue working on this little guy and get him ready coming up here, and get a cover on him, and we'll be ready to go with that one. And then I think maybe I'll do a playing card one and see how that comes out. So I thank you for stopping by, and hope I shed a little light on what I do, and I really enjoyed doing it. So hopefully maybe you will try it and like it too. So thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Leave me a comment. Love to hear from anybody, and we'll see you again soon. Okay? God bless everyone. Bye.